A single tear, one fleeting moment that set the internet ablaze and uncovered a story far bigger than royal protocol. When Meghan Markle dabbed at her eye during a live appearance, viewers first saw vulnerability. Then came the rumors. Mental strain, palace pressure, personal pain. But beneath that solitary drop lay a chain reaction, one that traces back to Prince Harry's own dark confessions, and now threatens to upend their American exile. The tear that started it all. Meghan's public display of emotion felt raw, her voice faltering, cheeks glistening under the lights. Fans rallied, calling it proof of her authenticity. Critics smelled strategy, a carefully crafted bid for sympathy. Either way, the clip shattered the calm veneer. Social feeds lit up with theories. Was this the weight of media scrutiny finally breaking her, or an echo of private grief she can't escape? What no one saw in that moment was the spark it struck in every headline, and the secret it reignited from Harry's past. Harry's confession returns to haunt. Years before, Harry dropped Spare on the world, a memoir spilling royal secrets, from wild cocaine-fueled parties to psychedelic escapes aimed at numbing grief. That book was hailed as brutally honest, until it wasn't. Today, every line about late-night drug runs is being parsed like evidence. Friends who once applauded his candor now whisper it was reckless. Because in the land of U.S. immigration law, past drug use isn't an anecdote, it can be a liability when disclosure becomes danger. Here's the twist. Harry's now a California resident on a special visa that demands full transparency. Rumors suggest he may not have ticked every box about his history. A conservative watchdog group has filed suit, demanding to see his immigration records and alleging omission. No government inquiry is confirmed, but the threat is real. Imagine your deepest admissions, once cathartic, weaponized to question your right to stay in your own home. For Harry, the past isn't just memory. It might cost him his future. While Harry fights a legal shadow, Meghan faces a public rebuke of her own making. Her latest brand relaunch, promising empowerment and authenticity, has landed with a thud. Critics accuse her of over-monetizing every personal post. Insiders speak of team tensions, strategic disagreements, even resignation letters. Fans who once championed her feel let down by repetitive messaging. Between behind-the-scenes friction and a social media backlash calling her inauthentic, Meghan's brand looks more like a house of cards than a power move. Behind the gilded doors of Buckingham and Windsor, there's growing alarm. King Charles, sources say, is deeply concerned, not just about headlines, but about Harry's well-being. Does his son regret peeling back palace walls so publicly? Can Meghan withstand another wave of scrutiny? For a family built on stoicism, this pair's famously raw openness has morphed from novelty into a crisis. Royal aides watch anxiously, weighing duty against the risk of more revelations leaking out. Rumors suggest more rumors are on the horizon. Shipping disputes over Netflix royalties, whispered feuds with charity partners, conflicts over security costs. Reports claim emissaries are scrambling to contain leaks, yet each new leak is dressed up online as proof of royal dysfunction. It's hard to separate fact from fan-driven fiction. But one thing is clear. Every unverified allegation, every sources say, only fuels the frenzy, and the public can't look away. So where does this leave the Sussexes? At a crossroads. Will Harry bow to the system, disclose every detail, and risk a legal admission more damaging than media sniping? Will Meghan double down on her brand, or retreat into silence and let the headlines fade? Their trajectory could pivot on the next court filing or the next viral clip. Because if this royal reinvention fails, the consequences aren't just PR wounds. They could fracture the future they're trying to build. So what now? If the visa records are unsealed and Harry is found to have misrepresented anything, he could face deportation proceedings. It wouldn't be immediate, but it would be messy, drawn out, public, embarrassing. For Meghan, it could mean a total rebrand, again, or a retreat from public life altogether. And for the monarchy? It's a PR crisis they thought they'd avoided. But once again, the Sussexes are center stage, and this time, the consequences aren't just reputational, they're legal. It's not just YouTube or Twitter anymore. Major media outlets, from the Daily Mail to Fox News, have jumped on the story. Some frame it as justice, others as persecution. But the truth? This isn't just about drugs, or tears, or immigration. It's about power, royal power, media power, political power. And in the middle, a couple trying to control their own story, while the world keeps rewriting it. PR experts say the Sussex brand is dangerously close to overexposure. Meghan's silence speaks volumes. Harry's vulnerability, once applauded, now raises alarms. And the media? They smell blood. That single tear may have seemed small, but it cracked the surface of a story still unfolding. It reminds us that in an age of oversharing, vulnerability can be as dangerous as secrets. For Harry and Meghan, the dilemma is painfully clear. Keep revealing to stay true, or guard the past to secure their tomorrow. One thing's certain. Whether they emerge stronger or splintered, the world will be watching every move. And in that glare, the smallest tear can leave the deepest mark.